Hello, my name's Mike the Fish, and this is my second Stone Cannon build, this one for Scrapper. So what this one can do is it can run at like a permanent 8 to 40% less damage taken, while still putting out massive DPS, doing 25 stacks of vulnerability by himself in literally an instant, which can massively help the whole party. So let's quickly go through the utility and weapon skills. We're using a hammer, obviously, because this stuff is massively OP for power builds. We're using the medic gyro. I've no idea why people still pick this. I mean, yes, you get an AoE heal, but this thing is so strong. Like establishing L, so you put this thing around you, and you use your number 3 skill here, right? To sustain yourself in bad situations. It does 3 lots of heal. These heals do like over 1k each. So this is like having a second heal. And it puts protection in an area on your party. This thing follows you around, does extra like little 800 heals from time to time. Its cooldown is much lower than the healing turret. I feel like people are still picking the healing turret just because they always have done. That AoE heal just isn't as good as the medic gyro. So this is heavily based on elixirs. So we've got elixir U here. This is what I really like for stun break. Gives you 3 boons. Quickness is now a boon. That's really helpful. 7.25 seconds. That's huge. This is even longer when you have like boon food on, like 20% boon duration massively helps with this. Then elixir B, this is to keep our fury uptime pretty good. It's a 40-second recharge, but it's the point is to keep the fury on. We've got a few ways of putting fury on ourselves. We'll get to that. And then the third utility slot, this one's interchangeable. So in situations where you need damage, you pick the Shredder Gyro for this F4 skill. Cooldown on the number 3 skill, a rocket charge on the hammer, is 10 seconds. So when you want to put a lightning field down and jump through it, you use Thunderclap. So you use Thunderclap, and then you use number 3 skill. It will do 3 dazing strikes through it. And then when this is back up in 10 seconds time, this is still on cooldown. So you use the F4 skill to get your lightning field. Does damage as well as giving you that lightning field again for another rocket charge jump. So this is how you keep your damage up in situations where you need damage. Situations where the team needs defense, bulwark gyro, very good. A situation where your team's sort of got the vulnerability covered. I'll explain where the vulcan comes from later. Take grenade kit. This the grenade barrage does a ton of damage still. Very good. And then I've taken the mortar kit for the elite, mainly for if you absolutely positively need a range option, you can switch, and it's a lot easier to use as a kit now. Because of the way targeting works. And this orbital strike, which you cool down on an area and then you use your F1 skill just before it lands to get that burst healing that people are so fond of this for. So that's the weapon skills. Moving swiftly on to gear. We're sticking with basically what we've always been using. It's just Zerk all the way through, and this is to keep our damage up essentially. I'm currently using accuracy and air. I would normally use a force sigil on that. I've just got my ascended hammer on a different character right now, so I quite like the permanent boosts of accuracy and force. And then for rune set, I've gone for the Rune of the Pack. 2 reasons for this. Firstly, it's a very good stat-wise rune set. You get a lot higher crit chance with this. You get that might, fury, and swiftness like on a. It basically happens every 10 seconds because hitting a lot. Like it just will happen every 20 seconds for 10 seconds. So this combined with this, you can see you basically have permanent fury uptime on yourself, and you give fury, might, and swiftness to all allies like 50% of the time as well. So most of your damage comes from your gear. Moving swiftly onto traits, we've got alchemy, firearms, and scrapper. So we're taking scrapper and firearms essentially for their damage, and we are taking alchemy for its team utility and survivability. So we'll start with firearms. We've got heavy exploits. Your critical hits have a chance to do vulnerability. I mean, this is a big part of why you can stack 25 vulnerability instantly. Also gives you basically permanent swiftness. This in conjunction with another trait when I get into alchemy, gives you permanent vigor as well. So this one, critical hits on foe within range give you fury. This helps you keep that 100% uptime on fury by yourself. You might want to swap these out if you've got someone who's just giving you fury for free, but I find providing it to yourself is always more handy. And then increased damage for each condition on a foe. There'll be lots of conditions on foes, there always are. It's just damage increase. So the scrapper, so get function gyro. This is very helpful. Using your heal skill temporarily reduces damage. So another reason this is better than the healing turret is it's instant. This thing instantly gives you the heal that it says on it. You can do it when you're knocked down, when anything. It just pops it instantly, and it gives you protection for 6 seconds. So it's just a brilliant panic button. Stunning or dazing a foe applies vulnerability and weakness to them. So this is how you get the vulnerability instantly. Whenever you put a lightning field down and then leap through it, and this is 3 leaps on the skill, you get 5 vulnerability and weakness. So you get 5 vulnerability, you get the vulnerability from the actual stack, you get that 3 times, you get 3 stacks of 6 seconds of weakness on the enemies, which also helps you mitigate damage. It does 25 stacks of vuln instantly, and I'll show you that later. So, and here with the Grandmaster, this is where it's sort of interchangeable. Like, if you're in situations where you need damage, then you take the hammer skills, increase damage, and grand stability, evading and attack. Grant stability. This is just a damage increase, so that's nice to have. I leave that on most of the time, but in really tough areas, you'll be wanting to take this. Gain stacking toughness when struck. This is a very strong trait. It was nerfed because it was even stronger than it is now. It's still very strong. So this is, if you need more survivability, you know, in raids or whatever, you'd be picking this trait. So now we go up to alchemy, and this is, you know, the sort of core of the build is using the gyros at the same time as using elixirs. So drinking elixir B when your health's below a threshold. So this gives you 4 boons right out the bat whenever you struck below 75%, and you're drinking elixir B whenever it comes up as well. This removes a condition because of later on traits. When you grant swiftness, you also gain vigor. So this thing actually gives you 5 boons, not 4, despite saying that. Whenever you critical hit, you get swiftness, which gives you vigor. You're seeing how things synergize. Incoming conditions have a chance to convert to boons. I mean, that's just 1 free condition removal every 15 seconds. I mean, there are some skills that do that. Drinking elixir is more survivability. When you're about to die, you're getting killed, you shrink, and you stay alive. Get the hell out of dodge. Throwing elixirs consumes conditions. You've got multiple ways. Throwing or consuming elixirs gets rid of conditions. So you've got multiple ways of getting rid of conditions on your build. It all works very well. You've got stability, there's another boon there. And then this, the Grandmaster. This is where me and a lot of people differ. A A lot of people use this. Elixirs grant might have reduced recharge and increase their duration. This is a good trait. It will give you a fair amount of might. Not a great amount, I might add. And you have to pretty much go fully into elixirs to get the benefit from this. But this doesn't do it very well. It doesn't stack might very well. A lot of people have much more efficient might stacking builds. So why go into might stacking as an engineer? Why not take this, which is one of the best damage reduction traits in the game? So you're running full Zerk gear, so you're essentially glass, like all the time. But you're running so many boons. I mean, you can get 7 boons there, like in a pinch. You know, like when you use your heal skill, you get protection. That's 30%. You get 7. You know, you're running at 40% reduced damage here. In situations where you need more, you can gain a stacking toughness buff when you get hit. This allows you to run full Zerk gear and still be massively tanky. It's always preferable, in my opinion, to change traits for survivability rather than gear. So those are the traits. So we're at the target golem in PvP. Obviously the stats aren't as good as PvE, but you can get some idea of the damage you can do with the build. It's a full Zerk, so it's pretty damaging. So I'm just going to do that. You see we're getting the 25 stacks of vulnerability fairly quickly. Critting most of the time, doing reasonable damage. Getting that vuln back up as soon as it goes. And all this while being, you know, taking a lot less damage. So that's been my Stone Cannon Scrapper build. I've had a lot of fun with this in Heart of Thorns. I've had a lot of fun with all my builds in Heart of Thorns. Running around killing things and not dying. It's always fun. So thanks for watching. Tell a friend.